In this video, we're going to talk about general angle basics. We'll talk about what makes up an angle, how to classify angles, and then we'll discuss complementary and supplementary angles. Here is an angle. How do we know it's an angle? Well, it's made up of two separate rays. A ray is a part of a line that starts at a point and then goes on infinitely in one direction. Where those two rays meet is called the vertex, and the angle is formed by those two rays. If we label points on the two different rays, point A and point C, then we can designate this angle as such, angle ABC or angle CBA. Notice the vertex is always the middle of the letters. Well, we also have specific types of angles. We've talked about the right angle before. A right angle is a 90-degree angle, and we indicate it often by a box in the corner. If you see the box, even if it doesn't look like it's 90 degrees, that means it is a 90-degree angle. We've also talked about acute angles. An acute angle is an angle that is between 0 and 90 degrees. A third type of angle is called an obtuse angle. An obtuse angle is between 90 degrees and 180 degrees. It is larger than a right angle, but doesn't extend past 180 degrees or a straight line. And our last angle is called a straight angle, and that is an angle that is exactly equal to 180 degrees. We've already talked about complements of an angle. We remember that in a right triangle, the two acute angles are complementary. That is, they add up to 90 degrees. Well, now that we are ready to start talking about angles in general, we won't have to limit ourselves to angles that are acute. We'll also talk about supplementary angles. Those are two angles that add up to 180 degrees. Let's look at an example. If I have 56 degrees, and I ask you what the complement of 56 degrees is, and what the supplement of 56 degrees is, then you would find for the complement, you would take 90 degrees and subtract from it 56 degrees, and you would get the complement of 56 degrees being 34 degrees. Likewise, the supplement of 56 degrees you would find by taking 180 and subtracting from it 56 degrees, giving you an angle of 124 degrees. So the complement of 56 degrees is 34 degrees, and the supplement of 56 degrees is 124 degrees. Let's look at one slightly more complicated example. If you're given a problem in DMS form, remember that's degree, minute, second form. If now we look at 56 degrees, 23 minutes, and 16 seconds, to find its complement, we're again going to subtract that from 90 degrees. We're going to set it up vertically, and we're going to rely on our basic math skills to do some borrowing in order to do the subtraction. First of all, we will take 1 degree from the 90 degrees and leave behind 89 degrees, and we need to remember that 1 degree is equal to 60 minutes. So instead of 0 minutes, we will now have 60 minutes. Well, we need to do this once more because we have 16 seconds to worry about. So again, we will borrow 1 minute from our 60 minutes, leaving behind 59 minutes, and then we will have 60 seconds. And now we can do the subtraction. And we would find the answer to be 33 degrees, 36 minutes, 44 seconds. If we wanted to find the supplement of this angle, we would do the same thing, the same steps, but instead of subtracting it from 90 degrees, we would be subtracting it from 180 degrees. And again, following the same steps with borrowing, we would get the answer of 123 degrees, 36 minutes, and 44 seconds. And there are the general angle basics, how we characterize an angle, how we can classify an angle, and how to find the complement and supplements of angles.